Hello and welcome to the Recon Network. We're thrilled that you've joined us for this cohort, and I can't wait to help you get started. But before you do, I want to explore one thing, and that's the concept of transition. Transition at its most basic level is just the journey from a starting point to a finishing point. Whether that means getting married, getting a new job, losing a loved one, or even leaving the military, all are different transitions that you may at some point have to go through. So to make the idea of transition simple, let's just think about it as going from a point A to a point B. The problem is that the shift out of service isn't really as simple as what this equation tells us. Despite the perspective that many have, this transition isn't as simple as leaving one job and finding another. The military transition is, probably more than any other, multifaceted and complex. Yes, you're finding a new career path, most likely, but often you're also moving or finally settling down somewhere. You may be working through a new relationship or a divorce. You may have kids that you want to invest in more. You may have a new disability that you're trying to adapt to. And that's not even getting into the shift in your own identity and how you see yourself outside of uniform or any other human response that you may be experiencing. In the 1940s, a man named Abraham Maslow gave us a foundational piece of modern psychology called the hierarchy of needs. You've probably seen it at some point, but it essentially lays out the needs that we as humans all have. At the bottom, the largest and most significant to our survival are our physiological needs: food, air, water, shelter, sleep. Then a level up, we have safety and security, which include things like income or resources, your health, and overall feelings of security. Then we have belonging, which encompasses relationships, friendships, family, and other connections. Close to the top, we have esteem, the level of respect you earn, or status or strength. And then finally, at the top, we have self-actualization, which simply means being the most that you can be. The idea is that as we address each level, we can then move into higher levels. But you can't just jump into a higher level, like esteem, and find fulfillment if the foundations aren't there. Now, in the military, most of this is provided for you in one way or another. You have shelter and food, you have security, income, and can find belonging among your brotherhood or sisterhood. Your rank, commendations, and service feed into your esteem, and your overall goal is self-actualization within your position or your given mission. But outside of the military, none of this is provided. You have to find it on your own, which is what makes it so difficult for so many. That means transition doesn't always look like A to B. It sometimes looks a lot more complicated. Before you start the coursework of this cohort, take some time to walk through your own transition. Really identify where you're starting and where you're going. We've included a worksheet for you to reflect on. In it, identify your point A, your starting point, and your point B, your ending point, or at least the first milestone. Remember, you may have multiple things going on at the same time. Then try to give yourself a timeline, make it realistic. And then think through your biggest fears and opportunities associated with this transition. Don't rush through this exercise. Part of this process is understanding where you're at and where you're going. So take some time to put some thought into what your transition actually and realistically looks like. And keep in mind, your transition won't be like anyone else's. We all start at different starting points with different experiences guiding our beliefs and behaviors, and we aren't all going in the same direction. Try not to look at someone else's experience and base your expectations for yours on theirs. More often than not, you'll be seriously disappointed along the way, and it's not your path. I'm thrilled that you've joined us for this process. If you have any questions now or along the way, please reach out to us at the Recon Network and we'll help you find the answers. And until then, congratulations on joining this cohort and good luck.